All right, greetings and salutations. It's your boy D.Boom. We're back. New weeks, new energies once again. We're gonna start with Divine Feminine's situation. I'm a Divine Feminine, by the way, twin flame speaking. Okay, so the people that's been watching me, that's quite aware of, of me here at LLE.Ascension. This is a twin flame channel, by the way. So just to give a little feedback on me, twin flame speaking, I'm definitely a Divine Feminine. We got the Divine Feminine out here, full form, Queen of Wands. Because my Divine Masculine is a guy, same sex, twin flame, non-sexual, non-romantic. It's a little weird, you know what I mean? We have like a father-son, Jedi Padawan, master apprentice type situation. You know, that's my old man. So that's our situation. You know what I mean? So twin flame speaking, I'm definitely a Divine Feminine, right? Outside the channel, like, say I got a girlfriend or something like that, you know what I mean? And she's checking out my energies, you know what I'm saying? I'm a Divine Masculine. So readings can switch. They switch for me, so I'm pretty sure they can switch for you guys too. It's all energy at the end of the day. So, twin flame wise, I'm a feminine energy. Behind the camera, I'm a masculine energy. So I look at the Divine Masculine readings, I'm speaking to myself outside my twin flame situation. You know what I'm saying? Me dealing with another Divine Feminine, or, well, usually Divines, I tend to deal with Divine Masculine women, you know what I mean? On a divine level, but let's just say karmic, regular relationships, I'm a masculine. I'm a man at the end of the day, right? Yeah. So just wanted to add some clarity there, throw that out there. A lot of you guys can have energies also that can flip and switch like that. Like I say, I'm a twin. I got a twin sister, you know what I'm saying? Very feminine on the outside, but inside she's very masculine. You know what I'm saying? My mother too. Just alpha masculine qualities. Feminine qualities on a divine level. You know what I'm saying? Karmically, earthly speaking, masculine. Like I say, it's your energy and how it relates to you. Okay? Just wanted to say that. So let's do the head, shoulders, knees, and toes rant, and we're going to get straight with it. Head, that's swords. Thoughts, decisions, mentality, ideology. That's the direction you're going. That's the decisions you're making, because everything starts from the mind. Then we got cups. Cups are feelings and emotions. All feelings and emotions are just indicators on where you're going mentally. Heart and mind must be aligned with everything that you do. Who rules the heart and mind department? The Divine Feminine does. Then we got wands. Wands are actions and behavior. These things you're doing. These things you've done. Not what you finna do, because you ain't did it yet. What you done got karma and accountability attached to it. What you doing has karma and accountability attached to it. What you finna do does not. Wands also represent the current, the now, the ing, the ing. We living, learning, earning. I'm speaking. You listening, right? We're in the now. Finally, we got pentacles. Pentacles represents persons, places, and things. These things you can taste, touch, see, feel, and hear. All pentacles expire. All pentacles have expiration dates. And all pentacles are temporary. Not just pentacles, but pinnacle. Your highest height, your lowest low, your turn, your era, your space and place. Okay? Let's get with the message. First card in this message, overall energy. This is fairly important. It deals with you, Divine Feminine. We got the Knight of Swords. This is fear. And this is making decisions without crossing your T's and dotting your I's, or being mentally discombobulated from the card before this. The step before the Knight of Swords is the Ten of Swords. Tens represent completions, but aces to tens are karmic cycles. Knights, queens, kings, and things are divine realms. Okay? So it's a big face, big energy, represents fear. Ten of Swords is permanent ending. That's death, like actual death. Loss of a mother, brother, dog, job. It's out of your hands. Whatever the death is, it's totally out of your hands. So it's you getting fired or laid off or terminated from a job. That's out of your hands. You lose a person that you love. That's out of your hands. It's also mental, because it's something you registered. Death is the card before this. To the source can represent a divorce. It's out of your hands. You total your car. It's out of your hands. You know what I'm saying? So one thing about permanent endings is they're never coming back. And if they do come back, it'll never be like what it once was before. So you can get divorced and then get back remarried, but it ain't never gonna be like how it was when you two first met. You can get fired from a job, get back hired on your job, but I bet you got your antennas up. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna be different. It ain't gonna be the same vibe. Nothing's gonna be the same. Post the Ten of Swords. Back to fear. Fear is mental. It's something you register. Now, when fear comes around in your mind, in your psyche, you register it and you get it the fuck out your head. Preferably by moving to the next step, which is the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is my Lucy Liu card. Lucy Liu as in Kill Bill. You know what I mean? That's just being 10 toes the fuck down mentally on what direction you going or decision you make. A more alpha, more what's the word I'm looking for? Proactive direction than fear. You know. Fear cripples you. Fear will also become your reality if you harbor this or register this energy too long. Okay? How it deals with you, feminine, and this is just fairly important. Most thing you really fear is the unknown. Full card is clarifying the fear card here. Full card represents being unaware. Okay? The unknown. Being in a whole new world like Aladdin. A place you ain't never been before. Whether it's an adventure like Aladdin, like a whole new world. Like, I'm in a little adventure myself, you know what I'm saying? Playing phone tag and shit like that. I'll dive into that later if something comes to fruition. But it's like an adventure. You know, you're in a place you've never been before, and you just enjoying every moment of it. It's like you on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world. Like, you're doing things you've never done before, seeing things you've never seen before, and it's just like you're processing everything. Another thing about uncomfortability, it's just a place you ain't never been before. So like I said, it could be fear of a pinnacle that you at your highest height. You've never had things go so well for so long. Like, you've never had this long of a run of good things happening to you, and it's kind of got you scared. Not scared, but kind of fearful that this run is gonna like be done and you're gonna start back losing or take L's again. Maybe it's the worst time of your life. Everything is falling to pieces. You know what I'm saying? And it's uncomfortable. Because like I say, you used to being here, you fucking here right now. And it's starting to make you uncomfortable. One thing about pinnacles, they're temporary. So you could be at your highest height. Eventually, it's kind of going to pan out. You're probably going to get back on top, but it's usually going to be some up and down shit going on. If you're at your lowest lows, rock bottom, cool. There ain't nowhere to go but up. And you being at the bottom is only temporary. You could be making the most money you ever made in your life. You're wealthy. You have status. Like, you got a job to where your standard of living is high now. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, are people fucking with me for me? Or are they just fucking with me because of my net worth? Are they just fucking with me or clinging to me because I have things of substance? You know? Who do I trust? You know, it's kind of uncomfortable when you in a place to where you don't know who to trust, or you don't know who's really got your best interest at heart. You know what I'm saying? Whatever this fear is, it's your fear, divine feminine. And like I said, your deepest, darkest fears can become a reality if you dwell on it too long. So when fear registers, soon it pops up in your head, move away from it. You also have to face your fear. So whatever you're scared of the most, you need to face that shit head on. Once again, going back to death. You know, I know some people who haven't processed death. I'm not telling you how to mourn, okay? I'm just using these examples. I got family members who've had other family members of mine passed away maybe 10, 15, 20, almost 30 years ago. And it's like they haven't mentally, because death is mental. You don't know a person's dead, I mean, till you find out. Usually through Facebook or some shit like that. Until it registers, right? I know some people who ain't registered the death. So it's like, not only did this person die, they died. because they ain't been the same since this person died. It's almost like 2 deaths happen instead of 1. It's like I lose an uncle, but it's almost like I lost 2 uncles, because my other uncle ain't been really right since my other uncle died. You know what I'm saying? That was his bro. You know, a deeper connection that he has. I never really knew Unc like that, for the example that I'm using. But it makes no sense for 2 people to pass away when only 1 person did. You're still here living. You need to carry on. You need to be strong. You need to live for the people who ain't here. It's a lot of people who chose to die mentally, because they're still here physically, chose to mentally die with the people who physically died. But that's due to fear of not being able to live without them, or whatever, what have you. I'll tell you how to more, just using it as an example. When it comes to fear, move on from it, feminine, because it's not going to do you any good. Plus, you need to be fearless anyway, like Lucy Liu and Kill Bill. Bottom line, more important than anything in this message. Bottom line is very important in this message is the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands represents the wounded warrior or a toll. So once again, building off this fear, which is clarified by the Fool card, which is basically being in a whole new world, like Aladdin, just a place you ain't never been in before. You know, that's what makes it uncomfortable. It's like you move into a new city. You don't know anybody. You know, you don't speak the native language. It's foreign to you. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it's kind of got you a little scared. Because once again, who can I trust? Where can I go? A person of my status, high status for some, who do I even allow in my cipher? Now, as far as the toll is concerned, everything has a price. Everything has a toll. Like I say, you wanted a better job, a new job, right? You get paid more. It's a better status and stuff like that. But what's the price of it? Maybe more hours. Maybe now you're working like a slave. Maybe with your last profession, you had a little bit more downtime, a little bit more chill time. You spend more time with your kids, spend more time with your family. You know, especially the ones who ain't got too much time left around here. Everything has a price. You got more time? Okay, that's going to be at the expense of more energy or more money. You know, something ties into something else. So where this ties in with you, feminine, we got the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups represents my psychic card. Represents dreams, signs, synchronicities, visions, or the writing on the wall. So with a particular toe, 9 of Wands, it's a writing on the wall. And when someone uses the term the writing on the wall, that means something is clear as day. Okay? Trying to find the best example to use this. Okay, toe, you know what you're signing up for. Like I say, you're the thinker who thinks the thoughts that makes the things. You had a plan, and you're executing that plan. You got a checklist or objective list, and you're checking your objective list. You know what comes with each objective. You know what comes, hopefully you do, of the things you ask for. Be careful what you ask for also. Because like I said, you might ask for something thinking it could be the best thing since sliced bread for you, only to get it, to only realize that maybe you asked for too much. Like I said, you asked for more money, a better job, a higher position. Okay, it came with a lot of time that's going to be missing from your schedule. It came with a lot of resources. Time is the only thing you can't get back. You can make money all day, but if it's taking you away from your family, especially, just use an example. It's like you asked for a better job. At least with the last job that you had, you were more flexible. Flexible to take care of your sick parent, sick child. Maybe you're going through some health crisis or something like that, and you need your rest, or at least need to go to your doctor visits and stuff like that. We all going through different things. So it's like you finally get the position of your dreams, get the job of your dreams, only to find out, damn, I got to work on holidays. Damn, I got to work on weekends. So now you can't see your friends. You can't see your family. It's really leaving you more isolated than you've ever been. I mean, you're making good money, but it came at a toll of kind of like your freedom. You used to spend the weekends meditating, working out, doing things that you like to do. Now you spend your weekends at work, and it's like you ain't even got time for your own self-care. Fuck sleep. It's like you ain't getting no sleep no more. You can't even really get rest. You can't pamper yourself the way you used to pamper yourself. Thus, it's taking a toll on you. For a person that's used to getting rest to not getting rest, it's going to start affecting your physical. It's going to start affecting your health. For a person who had time to visit family, to care for their elderly parents and stuff like that, now it's just like you got to hire somebody else to take care of your family because, like I say, you traveling and doing what you got to do. You know, it's a plus that you're in another bracket, that you're making more money, just using all this as an example, but it's a toll given you don't have the time anymore. So this fear thing that I see too, being in a new territory, is like I say, a lot of people are in new territory, but it's kind of like what you asked for, and now you're getting what you asked for, only to see that you really didn't know what you was asking for to begin with. Like I say, attaining things is easy, even if it took hell and high water to acquire this thing. But maintaining shit is a full-time job. Feminine energy you either coming into or leaving. We got the devil card here. And the devil card represents addictions, doing things in excess, being chained to a person or a place or a thing, and that person, place, or thing being chained to you, whether you realize it or not. This could be toxic relationship, regression, that's you going backwards, acting like a kid and shit. This could represent a bad partnership, a bad contract. Once again, not knowing what you signed up for. It's like getting tricked by the devil. It's like you doing a deal with Rumpelstiltskin. You know what I mean? And it's like you didn't gave away your firstborn, not knowing that this was going to be the price of doing business with Rumpelstiltskin. You know what I mean? So whatever this devil card is, and the only good thing about the devil card is what I like to call Sandy and Grease. Look at Sandy, Grease 1. Look at Sandy in the beginning of the movie. Look at Sandy at the end of the movie. Okay? The end of the movie, Sandy said a lot without saying too much. She flipped the script. Kind of had to reintroduce herself like Hove. You know what I'm saying? Made a statement with her physical appearance. Slightly different from her initial appearance. It's like Angel's food cake, Devil's food cake. It's like Two-Face from Batman. Two-Face in Batman Forever. He had, two faces. He had two spaces. You know what I'm saying? He had the angel room and he had the devil room. I forgot which room Vivica A. Fox fine ass was in. You know what I'm saying? But it's like not having two personalities, you yourself. But it's you flipping from one script to the next script. Duality in a way. I don't really support duality because there's only one right way, and that's up. And what's up? God is what's up, right? That's all. Duality can be a little confusing. You still yourself. You just got to flip the script on you sometimes. But I don't see this devil card as the Sandy and Grease. I do see this devil card as a bad contract, bad agreement, toxic workplace, toxic environment. You being chained to a person or to a place like your job or to a system. You know what I mean? And needing to break yourself free. Seven of Pentacles represents change. That's my Rihanna card, as in Riri, R-E-R-E. This is reneging on something, rearranging some shit, reversing a move, relapse, rehab, reevaluate, reconsider, release, relieve, remove. It's like 7 REs you need to do to get your shit back together. This job, like I say, it was cool. Just keep using this job as an example. Like a high-paying job that you asked for, only to see that you don't have no time for yourself. You didn't really have time for yourself with the job you had before. But now it's taking too much from you. And is it even worth the pay at this point? It's taking you away from your, like I say, sick mother that you can't see, or sick child that you can't be around anymore. Like it's a toll. It's some type of agreement that comes with what you asked for, and you're gonna have to change or flip the script because it's not gonna work for you. this is not working for me. I keep hearing that. You know what I mean? So it's some shit you got going on, Divine Feminine, and the shit's just not gonna work. Could be, like I say, you agree to go in a direction. Be a person of your word. You know, you stand true to your decision that you made, only to see that shit, you know what I mean? I don't know what I just bargained for, so maybe I need to change or flip the script. We all have free will and choice. There's always options. Even if you literally made a deal with the motherfucking devil, you know what I'm saying? It's a way you can outsmart his ass. Like Shorty did Rumpelstiltskin. If it's will, it's a way. Best believe that. So it's just time for change. You know? Change has to happen. You gotta change everything. You know, you gotta change the directions you make, the direction you're going in, the decisions you're making. You gotta change your feelings and emotions towards certain shit. You gotta change your actions and behavior that you're doing. And you gotta do all that to essentially or ultimately change the manifestation you just manifested. Divine Feminine, you in regards to yourself personally, we have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands represents communication. You know, communication. Communication is 80% nonverbal. 20% of what you say is verbal. 80% of what you saying is what you're doing. Not doing something is doing something. And not saying something is saying something. But also not saying something is doing something also. Also, what you're saying and what you're doing has to correlate and coordinate. Because if you're saying one thing and doing one thing else, you're miscommunicating. You're not saying anything at all. Okay? This communication could also be literal communication. You talking to somebody, you know, via text, email, WhatsApp, passenger pigeon, smoke signal. You know, this is you sending messages back and forth. And clarifying these messages is the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups represents juvenile emotions or, big energy, big emotional energy, like being in your feelings. You know, so juvenile emotions clarified with communication. This could be, like I say, you remember when you was in high school or junior high? You know, I'm an 87 baby, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when we finally got the long cord on the phone, like I could actually take the phone from my grandma room or my mama room and take that shit all the way to my room and close the door. Like that was our version of privacy. I'm pretty sure mom heard everything I was saying, and my grandparents heard, like literally picked up the other phone and hear the conversations we was having. But it was like just being away from them on the phone with a closed door. You know, it takes me back. You know what I'm saying? The conversations that I used to have. We call it caking. I'm from Chicago. We call it cupcaking. You know, this is when you caking with somebody. You getting to know somebody. You chatting. You talking. And it's like y'all two teenagers. You know what I'm saying? Like caking. You call it caking. You know, so it's like cupcaking. You finally found a special person that you can cake with. You know, the conversation is different. It's a vibe. You know what I mean? And you just chatting like you used to chat when you was a little ass girl or a little ass kid. You know what I'm saying? Good shit. This could also be you two in your feelings when you communicate. Knight of Cups represents, like I say, juvenile emotions. That's just being too much, too emotional. You and your feelings. You know, this could show up in the form of anger or jealousy or, juvenile energies. You know, so when you talk, make sure you don't communicate when you mad, because you might say some shit you might regret. Make sure you ain't making comments on people you might be jealous of or envious of, because you might be subconsciously jealous or subconsciously envious. Like you don't even know you have these feelings, but it's big feelings, it's big emotions, and you're speaking in these emotions, and you're just gonna end up, you're just gonna end up stepping on your own toes. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna end up kicking your own ass from your words. You know, and you gotta watch what you say to certain people, because you gotta watch what you say. Some shit you can't take back. Now, me on the other hand, I don't. Hey, my mouth is my main problem. So people like myself, whose mouth is our main problem, I say the first shit that come out my head. Cause in my head, that's keeping it real. Like, I'm gonna tell you I love you if I got feelings for it. Like, why would I hold that in? I like you like a motherfucker. Why would I not tell you I like you? Why would I not tell you my feelings for you? Whether they're good, bad, or ugly. Why would I not get that off? See, that's the divine feminine me talking. You know what I'm saying? My mouth gets me in trouble. I say the first thing that flies out my motherfucking mouth. And I own up to it. I'm a Leo also, by the way. So I gotta be 10 toes down on what the fuck I say. So even if I hurt your feelings, even if it offends you, whatever I'm saying, I'm 10 toes down on that shit. I ain't finna say some shit and then, oh, you know, I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. Like, nah. Even if I know I'm wrong for saying it or bogus, I'm gonna stand on that shit. Because, I mean, who goes back on their words, man? Like, you know what I mean? I said it and I meant it. You know? And I'm standing on that. You know, if you feel some type of way, that's feel. Like cups. If you feel some type of way, hey, that's on you. But I'm also in my feelings spewing this shit to you, though. So, feminine, watch what you say. You mean what you say, and it's good to say what you need to say, but at the same time, just kind of monitor your thoughts. You didn't have to say it while you was mad, because it probably came out wrong. You didn't have to say what you wanted to say, even if it was good in your feelings, because it could have came out wrong. So it's always good to write your thoughts down, especially when you dropping texts and emails, especially when you cupcaking and shit, so you can find the right words to say. You know, you got a lot to say. So this could be a journal. This could be letters. This could be, like I say, poems. It could be emails, expressing yourself. I was a rapper. You know, I had a little record deal and everything when I was a youngin'. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how I dealt with my emotions. You know, it started from poems to raps. You know what I mean? Because I grew up without my father. I grew up with a single mother. I was very expressive. You know what I'm saying? Had a lot of hate, anger. You know what I'm saying? Confusion on my heart when I was juvenile. So I had to harbor that energy, and it came out through self-expression. I'm a great writer. You know what I'm saying? Like, great writer. You can pay me, I could write your dissertation for you. You know what I'm saying? I could write your motherfucking your projects for you, MLA format and everything. You know what I'm saying? I got a great way with words. You know what I'm saying? I have a great way of communicating. It's one of my strong points. You know what I mean? And it comes from speaking from the heart. So, feminine, you got a lot of words. Put that shit on paper first. You know, write you a rough draft of that big ass paragraph you type into your boo bear, to your person of interest, to whoever you're trying to relate a message from. Make sure you find the right words. You don't have to, like me, spew everything out your grill, save it. Because maybe it ain't the right time to say certain shit. Even if it's good. It might be bad or ugly given the timing. And like I say, a lot of people can't handle their own medicine. They can spew bullshit at you. But soon you get their ass to taste their own medicine, shit, they act like little babies. So, you got a lot to say. Find the right time to say these things, and find the right words to relay these things. Moving on, wrapping this up. Feminine, you in regards to the masculine energy, we have God. God is the King of Swords. And King of Swords, when God come out, usually something good gonna happen, something bad gonna happen, or some ugly shit gonna happen. You know, 66% chance it ain't bad, but it's also a 33% chance that it might be. You know, and bad shit happening with God coming out can show up in a tower moment. You know, like I say, worst day ever. Okay, for karma out the ass. Some shit you probably did in the past, finally making its way around to beat your ass. Like I said, watch what you say. Because maybe you saying something in the past that finally come around to hurt you. You know what I mean? You don't know how people are feeling. Like I say, death is prevalent. A lot of people losing the people that they love every day. Maybe you spewing your truth at this person to get what's on your heart out. But maybe their parent just died today. You know what I mean? Maybe they just lost their job. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what people are going through. And then they get this barrage of words from you. They're going to take it some type of way. They might not say nothing at that time, but best believe it's going to come back around. And it's going, what you just did is going to happen to you. You gossip about a person, you talk shit about a person, best believe it's a person gossiping and talking shit about you. You choose to do a person greasy, kick them while they down, best believe that shit gonna come right back around. Eventually you gonna be down and people gonna be K for kicking your ass. God works in mysterious ways, you know. But God is also perfect and absolute, you know. And how this deals with the masculine, let's just say it's the divine masculine, right? You gotta let God deal with your masculine the only way God knows how to deal with your masculine. His way. But, you know, God, he could be a she could be a he. You know how we rocking with God. Like, you know what I'm saying? Clarifying God, we got the Knight of Wands. And that's moving fast and furiously towards your divine direction. You know? So, when it comes to speaking to twin flames, when it comes to your divine masculine, like I say, God gonna work with him or her, because he could be a she could be a he. You know how we rocking. God has the right words to say and relate to your divine masculine. Like I say, you can sit and write all your words down on paper. You can give all the signals and signs to your divine masculine. It still might go past his head. But it'll take God to take them same words you said to put it in another vessel for them to say it for your masculine to get it. I say it all the time. Divine feminines, don't get mad when your divine masculine don't listen to you. Maybe he just doesn't like the messenger. He heard the message. Maybe he don't like the messenger, which is you. He likes you. The masculine loves you. But it's like coming from you, it hit different. Coming from somebody else, it might be acceptable. God working on your divine masculine. And if he's working on your divine masculine, best believe it's divine timing. It's divine timing. You can't predict divine timing. And it might be taking too long for you, but once again, what's time to a divine? God works in mysterious ways. Let God do what God does. Alright? God brought you two together. Okay? Obviously, he got a plan for you two. So just let it happen. You don't sit around and wait for God to reveal his actions and answers to you. No, you still live life and do what you do. But keep an ear open. Keep a ready mind and a ready heart and listening ears. So when God does reveal things to your masculine, and your masculine get to speak it to you or get to send you signals and shit like that, you can pick them up. Don't rush shit with your divine masculine. You can't rush it anyway. It's divine timing, so don't rush anything. You know, like I say, even for twin flames that's just met their divine masculine, like I say, give it 2 years. Recognition should be 2 years. Twin flame recognition should be 2 years. In 2 years, then you drop the twin flame bomb on your divine masculine. Don't drop it in less than a year. It's going to take at least a year for you to even feel right in your heart that this could be your divine counterpart. And you got to wait another 2 years. Because like I say, giving your divine masculine's reaction time to the whole twin flame shit. Google what twin flames mean. I'm a twin flame guru, by the way, so I'm very knowledgeable in this field here. The processing time for your masculine to get these emotional feelings, the direction that he's going with you, the decisions that you making, and him processing the shit that you doing. You know, like it's a lot to process. Not too much for the divine feminine, but a lot for the divine masculine. You know what I'm saying? His delay time is longer than yours. So it's going to take a little bit more time. Might took you a year to figure out if this is your divine counterpart or not. It ain't even going to take 2 years for your divine masculine. It might take 4 years for your divine masculine to at least accept this situation or to look at you in the light that you're looking at him. He could be a she could be a he, you know how we rock it. Like I say, what's time to a divine? Also, let God cook. Like, let him cook. He's setting this shit up. It's all G. Let him do it. Or her, you know, the universe or whatever the higher power is to you. God know what they doing, so let them do it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's outside your hands at the end of the day. The best thing you can do is watch, pray, stay diligent, but mainly grow. Because rule number one in this twin flame shit, it's optional. You don't have to put yourself through this. Masculine knows this more than the feminine. That's why masculine chooses to separate often. Rule number two to this twin flame situation is built for you to be the best person you can be. Period. Your divine counterpart, your twin flame, your soulmate, the love of your life is coming in your life to make you a better person. And they're in your life for you to help make them a better person. No one completes you. You your own person. They're their own person. You two are individuals. You two have the same signature. You two are in the same gang. You know what I mean? You two are in the same club, but you two individuals at the end of the day. So God cooking, let God cook. Future final roll wrapping this reading up. Going to the future, divine feminine. You have yourself in full form. And usually when you're in full form like this, divine feminine, you either A, doing what God needs you to do. God needs you to be patient. You're doing that. God needs you to wait, unfortunately. You're doing that. You know, God needs you to be humble. You're doing that shit. Like, whatever, however God is, like I say, let him cook. You could be in the worst place you've ever been in your motherfucking life. Don't blame God. Obviously, God is working on your behalf. Might not be your flavor, neighbor, but true indeed. Everything happens for a reason. Even if it's bad. Even if it's bad, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, 66% chance it ain't bad. But even if it's bad, it's good. Because God don't make no mistakes. God works in mysterious ways. And God is perfect and absolute. So, yeah. Feminine. Clarifying you is the Three of Swords. Pain. And pain is mental. It's something you register. Shaolin monks don't feel no pain, bruh. Because they can literally train their brain to not feel pain. It's mental. It's something you can overcome once you register it and see it for what it really is. So, a lot of my feminines, like I say, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, it's going to be a painful experience. Like I say, you got the best job you ever had. You making the most money you ever made in your motherfucking life. But it came at the expense or the toll, Nine of Wands, of your time. Damn, that sucks. You know what I'm saying? It's like bittersweet. Ugly. You just met the love of your life. You just, like I say, collided with a like-minded individual. You know what I'm saying? God brought something together. Something that's totally unknown. You in a whole new world like Aladdin. Some real Aladdin shit. Some real Disney shit didn't enter your life. And you don't know how to take the shit. But you just along for the ride. It could go either way. You know what I'm saying? But you down for the cause. So it's good right now, but it could lead to pain and heartache. But you don't know. You know what I mean? You just thugging it out. You just surfing the motherfucking wave. You know what I mean? Even if it's bad, it's good. Because like I said, God don't make no mistakes. So aside from you being right where you need to be, when you in full form like this, also when you in full form like this, divine feminine, you get a tendency to trigger people. Whether that's your divine masculine or the people around you. Divine feminine, when you're in full form like this, like I say, you are Batman, not Bruce Wayne. Superman, not Clark Kent. Wolverine with the claws out. Predator with the mask off. You in full fucking form. And when you in full form, you get the tendency to hurt people. Not intentionally. Unintentionally. It's like Cyclops. The X-Men. I'm sure, you know, before he got them glasses that keeps the shit in his eyes, I'm pretty sure he had to figure out how to go through life blind. Because if he opens his fucking eyes, he gonna hurt people. Even if it's people that he loves. So until you control your powers, because you're an X-Men at the end of the day, and that's the bottom line too that I didn't mention, you know. This is definitely the writing on the wall. Visions, dreams, signs, synchronicity. Queen of Cups, this is going back to the bottom line. Most important thing in this message, which was clarifying the Nine of Wands, which was the wounded warrior. Which is the point that I'm making right now with the Cyclops analogy. You an X-Men. I'm an X-Men, you know what I'm saying? I'm like Gambit. Feel me? I'm nice without cards, you feel me? But with them, I'm deadly as hell. You feel me? I keep that pole on me at all times, and I'm slicker than fish grease. So if I was an X-Men, I'd be Gambit. My Divine Masculine, my Twin Flame, he's like Wolverine. His powers are more physical. They deal with genes, regeneration of genes. You know, longevity, life longevity. You know, Wolverine lived a whole bunch of eras. You know, he old, but he look young. That's my Divine Masculine. You know what I'm saying? He survived so many eras. You know, it's like he's getting younger instead of getting older and shit like that. The way his ability he can heal is crazy. My Twin Flame had brain surgery. You know, was fucking crippled. You know what I'm saying? And you can look at him and fuck with him right now. You wouldn't even know of his disabilities and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because of his power. Everybody has different power. There's Jean Greys out here. There's Storms out here. There's also Rogues out here. And a few Nightcrawlers. But at the end of the day, until you learn how to control your power, until you learn how to control the gifts that God gave you, you're going to hurt people. You're going to hurt yourself. You know what I mean? Like, until you find yourself, find your power, control yourself, control your power, you're going to be a danger to yourself and other people. And final thought of the day. You either going to be in the Professor Xavier's School of the Gifted or figure out how to make your powers in the world with Magneto. Magneto and Professor Xavier are both got good hearts. They have two separate causes. They're in two different environments. At least with Professor X, you in a school with other people. It's like your soul tribe. You know what I'm saying? Like you all are in the same place, practicing your power on purpose, figuring shit out together as a group. So it's not like you in it by yourself. And it's not like you don't have mentors or instructors like us gurus out here who can help you get in line with your path and purpose. But sometimes, like most masculines, feminines are like Professor X students. Masculines are more like Magneto's prodigy. They're learning in the outside world. They don't have mentors. They don't have a school for the gifted. So they got to find out the hard way. Or like my Divine Masculine say, we went through the school of hard knocks. You know what I mean? Like, he had to learn on his own. There is no team. There's none of that shit. You know what I mean? You're going to have to figure out on your own, find out on your own, and figure shit out on your motherfucking own. It's a more lonely road for the Divine Masculine. It's more hurt and pain that's involved with the Divine Masculine. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, he's got to find out the hard way. He's got to learn the hard way. He could be a she could be a he, you know, I'll be rocking. So, feminists, just take it easy on your Divine Masculines, okay? He's still trying to figure this shit out. He's still trying to figure himself out. He's still trying to process this whole Twin Flame thing. He's still trying to process you. It's going to take time. Time that you might not have. Time that you probably already gave. You know what I mean? But like I say, at the end of the day, it's divine timing. And that's some shit you can't predict. And like I say, God cooking right now. So let God cook. So that's the message that I got. Hope I can bring a little clarity to you real quick. And stay tuned for the next message. 1.